In this latest update, we received back the advanced variable bean stitch. This is something that just it used to be in there, and for some reason it just disappeared one time, and now it's brought back. So I'm glad, because it was even in the manual, and this is a really cool feature that allows you to create a very unique bean stitch. So you can see that I have this design. It was just one of the custom shapes that I applied a run stitch to. And when you come into the properties box, you can click on this run extra. And when you do that, you choose a bean stitch, and down at the bottom, these last two items here, is you'll see a bean repeat style. And if you change this to varying, this will allow you to change this bean pattern. So you can see that there's just this value of 6 here. Let's just go ahead and hit apply. And if I go one stitch at a time, I'm going to turn off the start and end, the tie in and tie off stitches here, just to make it easier to see this. It's going to go forward, back, forward, and you can see it's going to go a number of times. But it's varying. You can see that it's not doing the same number each time. And that allows you to create some areas that are thicker and some areas that are thinner. So if I come back here and I click on these 3 dots, it's going to bring up this bean repeat pattern. And from here, we're actually given it the formula. So the first one, it's going to do 5 times. Then the second one, it will do a 5 ply, and then a 3 ply, then a 7, then a 3, then 11. That's how it's kind of set up here. And you can vary the length of the stitch as well. So you can see right here it's 4 millimeters, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1. If I click on that and hit OK, and I zoom into this area here, and we go one stitch at a time, it's going to go forward, back, forward, back, forward. And then it's going ahead like that's 1 millimeter, because that's what we chose. And it's doing another 5 ply. And then the next one was a 3 ply, I believe. So then it's going to keep going on, and it's doing another one that's a 1 millimeter stitch length. And this one was a 7. So you really need to be kind of careful with this. And you can just see that it varies it. It adds different lengths here. But I do want to point that out. When you come over to this, 1 millimeter stitch length is really too small for bean stitches. When you're talking about doing 5 plies, 7 plies, I probably would not recommend going that low. When it comes to bean stitches, if I'm doing a 3, 5, 7, or 11, I will probably have that more at like a 2 at the lowest. And that's just because it's pretty hard on the garment to have the needle go in and out that many times in a short area. So you might want to pay attention to those. I wouldn't recommend doing it that low. But you'll see here, if I do a 5 and then I do a 1 and then I do a 7 and then a 1 and then I come in here and do another 7 and a 1, it's going to repeat this pattern right here. I'll hit OK, and if I come in here now and I go forward, back, forward, that's a 5 ply, and then a 1, and then it's going to do the forward, back, that's a 7, and then it goes 1, and then it starts the bean again. You can create it to where it's thick right here, and then it's like a thin line, thick, thin, thick, and it just is a really gives you an authentic hand look. And that was kind of the purpose of that bean repeat, was to create this kind of unique hand look stitch. And you just want to be careful with this. You don't want to I don't recommend going too small here. On the 1 ply, I could probably get away with doing it at a 1 millimeter, but when I'm doing a 3, 5, 7, 9, or even 11, Probably the lowest I'd want to go is a 2, and that's even low for me, because when you're getting that many of them, like let's say a 7, I like it to be about a 4 millimeter. That's great. I might even go up to a 5. And when I get up into these higher numbers like 7, 9, or 11, just to give it a little bit more room to breathe. So just pay attention to the stitch length when you're doing it, because a normal run stitch is 2.5. But most of the bean stitches that I do are going to be at least 3 millimeters in stitch length, just for a regular 3-ply. So just want to point that out. This is a great feature. I love this feature. I love that it's back. I don't know why it went away, but it did, and it's back now, and that's a great thing. So that is your bean repeat, your variable bean tool. And again, you just create a standard run stitch, a single run, and you go into the run extra, make sure that you have a bean stitch selected, and if you want to do the varying bean, you have to select it from the drop down right here, and once you do, you'll have the ability to make some changes here. So that's the varying bean stitch.